happy time zone, more accurately. Bear with me one moment, please. I'm still kind of slightly sorting things out. Hopefully everything sounds good. And looks good. But yeah, welcome back to the painting stream. Jeez, it's been a while. I didn't realise quite how long it had been. I apologise. But I'm back doing one of the things I love the most. And bit of a timely, hey Andy, welcome in. Butts, nice. Hello Mango, good to see you. I'm gonna kind of preface things with a bit of an apology. I might get a little ranty today. I saw some things on social media that made me exceedingly angry. So if I get a little rant heavy, feel free to send, tell me to shut up. Because, yeah, I saw some stuff about some people that I used to associate with, which has made me extremely angry. But yeah, I'm here with painting and Deadpool and good music and good people. So that is the perfect antidote for things like that. But I hope everyone else is having a good morning, afternoon, evening, time zone. I'm going to try and avoid going too heavily into it, but if anyone wants to know, I'm happy to talk about it. But for starters, I am going to just go straight back in and actually do some painting. Because it's been a little while, I feel like I'm massively out of practice. But we'll see how we get on today. Yeah, I hope everyone's had a wonderful week. I also have a job interview tomorrow, so I'm a little bit running on nervous energy today. Because it's quite a big job interview. Just double checking before I do this. But yeah, I might be a bit distractible today. But that's fine. We all have days where we're not necessarily our best. Oh, congrats, thank you. It's actually kind of part 2, so this is actually the second stage of up to maybe 4 stages. So I'm super nervous because it's a job that is much, much closer to the industry that I'm looking to move into. Is much, much closer to the kind of thing that I want to do with my life rather than customer service, which, don't get me wrong, it fulfills some things, but it is not what I want to do with the rest of my life. But yeah, this job is much, much closer to what I want to do. So I do really want to get it, funnily enough. But yeah, super nervous about that because it's a kind of an industry that I don't have professional experience in. So I'm very much relying on my previous experience, volunteered, unpaid, all that sort of stuff. It's a little scary. But we'll see how it goes. I'll talk more about it as I get more of a decision on it, because I don't want to jinx it. No pun intended. I don't want to jinx it, and I'm a little superstitious when it comes to job interviews. So I hope you guys don't mind me being a bit vague until I, get more concrete answers on where I sit with it. But yeah, it's been a while since I've had an interview. I've kind of been sat in a career safe spot for a while. For a multitude of reasons, but mainly health reasons. You know, it's easier to deal with health situations when you're not changing jobs as well. But I'm in a much better place with that now, and it's high time I get my butt in gear and do some stuff that actually, you know, makes me happy. Also, I have to apologize. My voice is very dead this morning. I'm apologizing a lot today. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry, guys. It's one of those days today. Okay. Yeah, I'm just kind of bringing out these patches a little bit. Pouches? Patches. Pouches. Words. Words are hard, folks. It's a day. It's already been a day. It's like 5 past 10, 10 past 10. It's already been a day. My goodness. But yeah, I seem to be losing my voice again. I apologize if I'm a little bit difficult to understand or if I'm coughing or whatever. It's one of those things, you know. I'm doing my best here. As usual, I'm a bit of a chaotic mess, but hey, that's what you're here for, right? Lemon and I just got out of bed. Yeah, I mean, I kind of rolled out of bed and was like, oh, I'm going to be late for stream. I wasn't, but it's kind of how it felt this morning. And I made the mistake of scrolling on the social media formerly known as Twitter for all of 10 minutes before I saw something that made me so angry that I just instantly, like, was done, you know? You go from naught to done in the space of, like, 5 minutes. That's kind of what my morning's been so far. But people will always find, well, the wrong kinds of people will always find a way to make you feel that way. So it's important to find the right kinds of people. So I'm just kind of trying to reset my brain a little bit. We got the Baldur's Gate music, which is always a good way to make my brain happy. We've got my personal favourite pansexual icon, the Merc with the Mouth himself. And yeah. You know what? This isn't the thing that I saw, but another thing that I saw online today, they gave His Majesty, the cat at the Last Light Inn in Baldur's Gate, they gave him fur, and I am so upset. He was a Sphinx cat originally, and now he's a big old fluffy Persian cat, and I'm so upset. I want them to bring back our hairless majesty. He was so cool. And Sphinx Cats are cute as hell. No, that's not the colour I needed right now. It was this one. But yeah, what have I got to talk about? I don't know. My brain, I'm kind of a bit head empty today. I've not got a lot of interesting things to say, I guess. But I'm here anyway. Next week will be the last variety week. It's kind of a big deal, I guess. Surprising probably no one whatsoever, I'm going to be moving to Baldur's Gate full time. I will still do these mini Pennington streams, but in terms of gaming, yeah, it's going to be all Baldur's Gate. So I'm really excited about that, because in case you'd been away for a couple of weeks, I've been a wee bit obsessed with this game. And yeah, like I said earlier, this is the time for me to do the things that make me happy, regardless of opinions and anything else that might get in the way of it. So I'm doing that. I'm finishing off The Expanse, because there is one episode left and it would be silly to leave it now. But that will come through next week, and then we are fully in the Baldur's Gate era. So that's going to be exciting. I will still do other games for things like charity events, but for regular content I will only play Baldur's Gate. Speaking of charity work, there's going to be some charity WWF streams coming up in October as well, because I think we're a little overdue for one. But yeah, that's going to be happening. It's always a good time fundraising for the WWF, so I'm of course excited about that. I don't currently know all of the details. Still waiting for those to come through. But yeah, we're working towards that 10,000 goal still, which is really, really exciting. I'm getting closer each time, which is so impressive. And I love that our community is doing so much. What else? October is going to be a little bit chaotic, I should say. Surprising no one. I think I talked about this on Friday, but I've got a lot going on over the course of October. Got a lot of traveling, a lot of events happening. That does mean that my stream schedule is going to be a little all over the place, because I won't be able to keep a regular schedule. And it's just not humanly possible. I have weddings, I have travel to London and back, I have gigs galore. that I'm going to. So the schedule's going to be a little bit all over the place. I'm going to try and keep to at least 3 streams a week. But the days that they're on might shift about a bit over the course of October while I kind of work around real life events and busy life events. So just a heads up for that, I guess. You know, my social media is the best way to keep up with what I'm doing and when. I'll also still post in Discord when I go live because, you know, I'm trying to use Discord a bit better. Trying to build that community a bit more. It's a little bit under construction at the moment as well. Sounds cool? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's busy, but it's like good busy, you know. And, you know, amongst all of that, there is a real possibility I'm going to be starting a new job as well, which is always chaotic. But hey, all positive, I hope. And yeah, like I said, I'm still working towards Discord getting a bit better. I'm not quite sure what folks want out of Discord, if I'm honest. So let me know. Because it feels like at the moment folks are kind of just using it as a dumping around for memes, which is not what I intended. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I have ideas, I just need to see what's actually able to be implemented. Okay. God, that other side is a little messy. Discord stuff is nice. Okay, well I'm glad it's helpful for you, Mango. I will keep posting on Discord when I go live. I need to check the integrations because I think my tweets are not going through properly. So I might have to do a separate feed for like every time I post something community relevant, cross post it onto Discord kind of thing. But yeah, that's something. That's kind of a behind the scenes thing. Yeah, lifting the proverbial curtain for a moment. Not that I really have much of a curtain with this community, let's face it. I let you guys in on all of the decisions I make here. Because, you know, this is as much your community as it is mine. I wouldn't have a community if it wasn't for you lot, so it makes sense to let you all in on all the decisions. Trying to do this while the paint's still too wet. This is silly, but there we go. Alright. What else have we got? not the colour I wanted. Where is that colour? Put that down before I drop it. Yeah, obviously moving into October, it's also spooky season, so I'm going to be doing some more horror themed painting. I've got some cool, like, demonic themed stuff. I'm currently in search of some, like, fun spooky things as well. Because I think the one thing that I've got prepped and ready to go might not take me as long as I initially thought. So I want to have something fun and backup. But yeah, some themed painting projects on the way. I am just gonna get this out of the way. I am gonna paint custom models of all of the companions from Baldur's Gate. I've decided I'm going to go ahead with the project. It is going to take me a long time to make and collect all the figures, so it's going to be done over time. It's not going to be a rushed thing. I'm not going to be able to do them all in one session or anything like that. But I'm going to work through all of the companions, probably some of the major NPCs too. Because, yeah, that game has inspired me in so many ways. It seems only fair that I do something to say thanks. So I'm going to go ahead, and they're basically, the idea is I'm going to create them on Hero Forge. I'm then going to paint them up by hand. I might end up doing a couple of extras. I know some of the actors have PO boxes. So I'd really love to be able to send them, you know, D&D figures of their own characters kind of thing. So there might be duplicates of some. But we'll see. But yeah, obviously that's going to be a long-term project because there's a lot of time and expense involved in that, if I'm being really honest. Because getting custom figures is not cheap, as you can probably imagine. If you want to contribute to it, there is a Hero Forge gift voucher on my throne. That is going to be used for this project. The, you know, paint all the companions project. So any money that goes onto that community funded thing is going to go towards painting all of the different companions from Baldur's Gate 3. As in making, building, painting, possibly sending them out to the actors themselves. I don't know if I have enough confidence in myself to do that just yet, but we'll see. Another reason to get a 3D printer is true. It's very true. Unfortunately, I have not got the first clue about 3D printers. So I would have to defer to my partner's expertise on that one. But starting to get that way a little bit. I'm definitely moving more into the custom, very specific kind of models. So maybe it's time for me to start learning about 3D printing on top of everything else. It's probably something that I'll teach myself in the future. Or, you know, get my partner to help me with in the future. But I am very, very keen to do some Baldur's Gate 3 painting. as you can probably imagine. So I'm going to try and start at least one of them soon. I have the design ready to go on Hero Forge. I basically just need the funds to order. I'm going to order 2 copies of the particular one that I'm talking about. So obviously that's a, you know, I gotta wait till payday at least, you know. Model painting is an expensive hobby, y'all. I don't know if I've ever really talked about that before, but it is expensive. I'm very lucky in that I am known amongst a lot of my friends as being the one who does all the painting. So I am very fortunate to get gifted models like the one I'm currently painting that help keep me well supplied, because I have very generous friends and I'm very, very lucky. But it's an expensive hobby. The new Payday already came out. It did. A fun fact, I don't know how many of you'll know this, but I actually played a lot of Payday 2. Like, almost the same amount of playtime as I've got on Baldur's Gate 3 level of play. I stopped because I disagreed with some decisions that were made by the developers. But those decisions were reversed and have been kept out of Payday 3. I've been watching Geef play it. Payday 3 looks good. When it works. And that's the downside. It's the always online thing that seems to be causing a ruckus. But other than that, Payday 3 looks great. I'm really happy for Overkill. I believe it's still Overkill, right? Either way, really happy for the team. And I wish them a very successful future. Hey, Corax. Why are necromancers considered to be the bad guys? I think it's because people get squeamish over dead bodies. And you know, grave robbing is generally frowned upon in most cultures. But welcome in, I hope you're well. Happy time zone. Still waiting for Red Dead Redemption 3. Nice. I don't even know, has that been announced, Corex? Or is that just wishful thinking? Dry brushing ASMR. Just finished a dwarf cleric. Nice, Indy. What domain did you go with for the cleric? Okay. I'm getting into all the corners again. This is concentration mode engaging. Well, concentration combined with I'm so distracted by the music today. It's actually in development? Oh, cool. Yeah. It is gonna be 10 years. It's Rockstar. They don't do anything quickly. Which normally I would say is fine, but you'd think it would result in a more polished product than it usually does. But we'll see. Larian took 6 years over Baldur's Gate 3, and look what came out of that. Sure. Fair enough, indeed. Do you have a plan for how you're going to play this cleric? Are they a healer, a fighter, spellcaster? I know clerics kind of do a little bit of all of them, but what sort of thing are you going to mainly do? Okay. There we go. Rather have a finished game than Ultra Bug pre-released. Yeah, same. It's just, if I remember correctly, no, I might be wrong. This might just be my remembrance of it. But when GTA 5 came out, it was delayed multiple times. So it was late, long development, and was still buggy as heck with a lot of problems and things like that. So it was like the worst combination of the two. Gotta go hit the Lex. No worries, Maggo. Take it easy. Thank you for lurking. I appreciate it. I hope you have an excellent Sunday. Yeah, that might just be my misremembering it, but I was under the impression that that's what happened with the release of GTA 5. That was kind of the worst combination. Okay. Gotta go hit the legs. I don't want to know what that might mean. Like a stretch reminder from hell. I'm really sorry about my voice just going. I'm trying my best to not cough into the mic too many times. But I hope everyone's got something to look forward to next week. Even if it's something small, I hope you've all got something good on the way for you. And if you can share, I'd love to hear about it. I already said that I've got a job interview next week. So I'm a little nervous about that. But the good thing is I bought myself pizza. And I got a pizza night with my partner tonight. And we're going to watch some movies and just relax. Which will be nice. And then I've also got payday next week, which is also very nice. You know? It's always nice to see your bank account get a little healthier. And payday always means that, you know, I usually buy myself some treats. Although I think this time I'm going to be saving it for the inevitable spending at the Critical Role live show, which is coming up in October. I'm going to be going to, because I'm probably going to want some merch from that. Somewhere's going to be a delayed gratification kind of situation this month. It's already chaos 2 seconds in. Your halfling got thrown and lost half their clothes? What? Whenever you move out, I'm definitely going to do squats. Like, or just pull-ups. Sounds good to me. Oh, you're going to a health resort? That sounds lovely, Corax. I hope you have fun. Well, I hope you have a good time. Next week is kind of a very much a work week for me. It's going to be a lot of dealing with work-related situations, which I'm not looking forward to, if I'm honest, but I'm trying to make it as painless as possible. I took yesterday off of work. Normally I work Saturdays. I took it off to just kind of have a day to myself. So that was really nice, actually. That was kind of needed. Oh my goodness, why was that so loud? Corax, thank you so much for the hydrate. I appreciate it. I hope everyone's got something tasty to drink. But yeah, next week is a lot of work stuff. A lot of day job stuff, which is not ideal, but it happens. Like I said, making it as painless as I can by bribing myself, basically, to get through it. With all of the treats and snacks. But I've got a couple of cool things lined up for stream. And just generally enjoying feeling a lot more motivated and a lot more positive about things. So, yeah. I'm losing my voice though, so I might be a little bit quiet today. because obviously with a job interview to think about tomorrow, I really do need to make sure I don't lose my voice completely. But yeah, October is when all the shenanigans start for me. It's a lot more in the way of fun stuff too. I don't know why, but October is always a busy month for me. It's usually filled with gigs and weddings and things like that. So it's always busy. But in other news, I'm also going to be doing a soft, I don't want to say rebrand, but just a little bit of a revamp on the channel soon. There's going to be a little bit of an upgrade to how everything looks. Just to kind of fit more in with the Baldur's Gate 3 stuff. It's a little while away. This is like maybe a couple of months away. So I might time it with the new year. But I'm excited for that too, because, you know, I think you all are going to like it. But I've already had to start planning things because obviously, you know, busy life means sometimes you have to plan things stupidly far in advance. Yeah, we're not even in October yet and I'm planning stuff for 2024. But yeah, I'm excited for that sort of stuff as well. I should be able to talk more about a lot more things in the future once I kind of wade through some of the chaos a bit. Okay, I quite like that kind of scruffy look. Normally I prefer to keep my dry brushing a little cleaner than that, but I kind of like the scuffed look on the abs there, on the chest, torso, whatever. It's kind of a little bit more scuffed. Kind of looks more like, you know, worn in, a little bit beaten up. This song. This is my favorite song Well, the full vocal version is my favourite song in Baldur's Gate 3. If you want to look it up, it's I Want to Live from the Baldur's Gate 3 soundtrack. It's so good. So, so good. So perfectly written. But yeah, I guess I can talk about other stuff while I'm here. Sorry, one moment, please. Sorry about that. Maybe I can't talk about things. As soon as I decide I'm going to talk about something, I have a coughing fit. Scrap. So... do I want to say it? No, actually, I'm going to hold off on talking about a couple of things until I hear more. But... yeah, I think it's safe to say that Baldur's Gate has kind of unlocked something in my brain, in case anyone hadn't noticed. And I'm going for more stuff that is outside of what is immediately obvious on my resume. To kind of put it, I don't know, super vaguely and super unhelpfully, I guess. So pretty much everyone here will know my background is in biosciences, forensic and biomedical sciences. That's what I trained in. What few of you might know is that I have also played Dungeons & Dragons since I was 10 years old. I'm 30, so I've got 20 years of tabletop experience, and that's before you count Warhammer, painting minis, and all that sort of thing. And it's literally in the past few weeks that my brain has kind of gone, what if you did Dungeons & Dragons for your job? Because that's the thing that really makes you happy. Not my job, but Dungeons & Dragons makes me happy. So I've been pursuing that, basically. Because ever since the thought crossed my mind, I can't get it out of my head. So I've been doing, narrative design courses. I'm doing community management for tabletop RPG courses. I've been doing all this sort of stuff, and I've never been so busy, and I've never enjoyed myself more. Imagine putting it in your CV. Funnily enough, Corax, I do. When I'm applying for jobs, I do say I have... I typically phrase it of extensive tabletop experience. And then, because it always gets asked about. It's like, well, why have you put Dungeons & Dragons as an experience, as a skill, and stuff like that? Because then I can start talking about, like, well, it there's imagination, creative problem solving, there's teamwork, there's, and it is a really good way to stand out from people. And because I do actually have that level of experience, that, like, in the industry that I'm in as well, it actually is kind of relevant. It's actually what got my foot in the door for working for the company that I currently do. Because they said, like, yeah, we get plenty of people who do X, Y, and Z, but I don't think we had anyone apply who was like, yeah, no, I've got multiple decades experience in Dungeons & Dragons, and put it as a thing in their CV. Because that's the thing, CVs, they're just meant to make you stand out from the crowd, right? It's like, do you have the experience? Yes. Okay, do they have anything else interesting going for them? And for me, that's always been Dungeons & Dragons. It's only recently that I've kind of embraced it as publicly as I have done. But, yeah, D&D has always been a big facet of who I am. But yeah, it's cool. It's really, really cool to get to do that. And yeah, like I said, it's only in the past couple of weeks that I've kind of gone, well, instead of just making it my personality, why don't I make it my job too? So I'm actually starting to get the professional D&D stuff on my CV now. And the way that I always go about doing those sorts of things is to first start by getting, like I said, I'm getting creative writing qualifications, I'm getting brand management qualifications, I'm getting community management qualifications. Because again, I still love community management no matter how badly that last experience ended. I still actually really loved my time being a community manager. So I'm actually getting qualified in stuff that I really enjoyed that I never really realized could be a job. Which sounds really silly. No, say it. It's a very slowpoke realization. It's taken me way too long to realize this is what I want to do. But I've reached that point in my life where I could not give a fuck how long it takes me to get to where I want to be. I'm going to get there. Because I'm tired of wasting time. So yeah, and I've been so busy, so busy, but it's been great. It's been that kind of busy where I don't want it to stop necessarily. I just want it to keep evolving. Even to the head where they ask me if I can handle annoying people, I just go, I work in retail. Honestly, I do a similar thing. It's like, yeah, I have 7 years of customer service experience. I can deal with a lot of different types of people. Nearly always gets a laugh as well, because they know what you really mean, but it's such a diplomatic way of putting it that, it throws people off sometimes. But yeah, basically I'm gonna start talking about tabletop a lot more openly. If anyone's interested in what I'm doing, like the narrative design stuff especially, I'm happy to share my writing as well. I'm writing again. I haven't been this prolific in creative writing since I was in my teens. And I love creative writing. I used to want to be an author. You know how some people dream of being like an astronaut or a ballerina or whatever. I used to want to be an author. That used to be my kiddie dream of what I wanted to do when I was older. It's like, I want to write books. I also wanted to be an astronaut and a vet, but it was one of them. One of those dreams. But because I was never really in the right environment for getting encouraged to do that, I never pursued it. Now I'm pursuing it for my own reasons. And those reasons are because I bloody want to. And no one can stop me. It's just like, wait a minute, I'm an adult. No one can say no to me anymore. No one can say that's a bad idea, or you should pick something safer that has more hiring opportunities. So, yeah, no one can stop me now, and that's a dangerous thing. I had that realization that I think a lot of people have in their 20s and 30s, where they're like, oh wait, I'm an adult. I don't have to ask permission anymore. I don't know if anyone else has gone through the same thing recently, but yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 kind of was the catalyst for that. Because I just kind of realised how disgustingly happy I was with it. And yeah, one thing led to another, and then here we are. Yeah, it's literally like, Jinxie no, Jinxie yes. No one can stop me. If I want to pursue creative writing in a professional capacity, no one can tell me that that's a bad idea anymore. Apart from you lot, but I think you lot are going to encourage me as much as anyone else. But I had a lot of people, and they did it with the best will in the world, and I don't necessarily resent the people who did this to me. But I had a lot of people in my life when I was growing up who would encourage the safe route or the more prestigious route. I was a very anxious child. So I'm an anxious adult too, but I was an exceptionally anxious child. So when I looked to people for reassurance, they would push me towards things like, doctor, lawyer, scientist, the respectable, reasonably employable routes. And again, like I said, they did it with the best will in the world. But I am not that person. I am not. I did my time as the straight laced scientist doing everything by the book, and I was miserable. I was miserable in those labs. The work was fun, but I was not built. My personality is not built for that kind of environment. And then, I've had kind of a long period of poor health where I've not been able to do a lot. And I'm on the other side of that now. I'm kind of a bit more better equipped to deal with things. And I'm ready to start doing what I want. Start listening to myself as opposed to anyone else. Because, I'm about ready to start living. And I'm the only one who has to live with the consequences of my actions. And it doesn't hurt anyone. I've been a big proponent of if it doesn't hurt anyone, go for it. And I've given that advice to so many people, and I've never listened to it myself. It doesn't hurt anyone for me to go off on creative writing. It doesn't hurt anyone for me to pursue Dungeons and Dragons as a career. And I don't even know what that would entail yet. I'm so hilariously novice as a professional D&D'er. But I never listen to my own advice, which is so dumb. Why did anyone ever ask me for advice? I know nothing. But hey, we're here now, right? Why listen when you can chaos? Hey, I've lived in chaos for way too much of my life. I was not a good friend to myself. And I'm changing that now. So yeah, you're gonna hear me talking about stories and stuff like that. I will probably eventually post some of at least the fan fiction-y type stuff that will never get published. um, None of it is ready to be published yet. It's all very loose and just kind of brain dumped scenes. It's not really a coherent narrative or anything like that. But eventually, I will probably start posting some of the fan fiction, at least. Because that's the thing. I have written fan fictions. I've written. Yeah, at this point, I've written close to 15,000 words in under 2 weeks. So to say I've been prolific is a little understatement. It's like all these years of ideas just kind of started happening all at once. At the moment, it's kind of just a loose collection of scenes and moments and discussions rather than anything coherent. So I need to pull everything together into something a bit more readable. But it's good to just get it out on paper ish. It's not exactly paper, I'm typing it, but you know what I mean. I don't know, it feels good. It feels like the right thing. And I don't know how many people can kind of relate to that, because I know it's not something easy. But I finally feel like I'm on the right path. Like, this feels like the thing that I was meant to have been pursuing all along, which is scary, but also really cool. And, you know, in a way, Baldur's Gate 3 has been the catalyst, so, you know, all the more reason for me to love that game. But yeah, before I got sidetracked with everything else, what I was going to say is that does also mean that at some point, probably in the new year, I am going to start looking at running some one-shot campaigns and things like that with the community. I'll probably start with community members, long-term community members who I'm familiar with, just while I kind of get a bit more confidence in my DMing abilities. But yeah, I know, Indy, you're interested. Don't worry. You're going to be one of the first people I mention this to when I actually have something concrete in place. But yeah, I'm going to run some one-shots and things like that, probably in the new year, when I'm a bit more sure on where my day job currently lands. Yeah, I want to... D&D is going to become a much, much bigger part of what I do in the new year. I'm also kind of hoping that Larian brings out some Baldur's Gate 3 themed modules. And if so, I'm going to pick those up to run, because I think those would be a really cool way to get back into it. And yeah, I'm just kind of basically trying to develop all these skills that I've let atrophy for so long. And it's been really nice, because it's a part of my personality I've neglected, and I actually was kind of happy with that part of my personality for a while. So, you know, If you're wondering why I seem so different, it's basically you're seeing a part of myself that was always there, just never really got the chance to breathe until recently. Which is kind of a heckin' big achievement. It feels good. I kind of lost track of what I was saying now, but I think you'll get the idea. You get the gist. It's hilarious because if you look at my YouTube history, you can see the exact moment my brain was like, Dungeons and Dragons, you say? Because it goes from like this mix of, you know, music and ambient and a little bit of crit roll here and then a few clips there of other live action, and now it's just suddenly Baldur's Gate 3, Dungeons and Dragons. And like one or two channels that I'm actively enjoying for other content. But there is like, you can almost date it of just like the switch in my brain. And it, because again, this wasn't intentional, this is just something that clicked in my head recently. It's so funny to me to see the like tide mark almost. But yeah, there's gonna be some D&D. I need to familiarize myself with Roll20 because that's probably how I'm gonna run most of my stuff. I also need to start actually relearning the rules properly because I've not played 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, sadly. Much to my disappointment, I've not been able to. And I think I kind of need to learn the rules before I start trying to help anyone else play. So that's basically going to be my Christmas, I think. I'm going to treat myself to a big old set of Dungeons & Dragons rules and things and just learn them. So that then in the new year I can start running games. I don't think you'll necessarily know how excited I am for this. Like, I'm so keen to get back to doing what I love. I'm already doing it, but like to get back to it in an even more prolific way. It's gonna be so cool. But in gaming terms, I'm also going to be, I think again I mentioned this on Friday, but just so that it's kind of official mentioned, I'm going to set myself a small challenge with Baldur's Gate to try and do every combination of race, class, and background. Now, if you've even seen the character creator, you know that is a huge, huge undertaking. And I'm all for it. I'm going to put myself a spreadsheet together and literally just lists of all of it. I am going to find every single little bit of undiscovered content, including those 2 hours that Neil has mentioned. So, you heard it here first.
That's going to be the challenge. I don't care how long it takes me. It might take me 10 years. I'm fine with this. I'm going to do this. That does also mean each version also in Dark Urge background. So, you know, you've got Tiefling Bard with, say, Acolyte background. I'm also going to do a Tiefling Bard with the Dark Urge background. So, there is literally thousands of combinations. Like, not even, possibly even tens of thousands. I haven't quite added it up. So I'm not exaggerating when I say this is going to take years. And I'm going to do it, you guys. I'm going to stream most of it too. Some of it, like 1 or 2 characters I'm keeping to myself. Like my current Dark Urge character, they're just for me. There's going to be 1 more character that I do that is just for me. Maybe a few more. But the majority of this is going to be streamed as well. Every class, every subclass, every background. It's gonna be fun. Just in case you thought I wasn't serious about this Baldur's Gate fascination. I think the only thing that would derail it is Baldur's Gate 4. Because Larian have got themselves a fan for life here. Even if they did give His Majesty fair again. Okay. So all I'm doing here is just kind of tidying up the base a bit. I wanted to give it something that wasn't just a plain black base. And then I'm just doing a little edge around here so that I can be certain that there's not going to be any weird green splodges coming through. I tend to do this with very brightly coloured plastics. Just to kind of make extra sure that the finish is what I want it to be. Okay. I'm so glad I had a painting stream today, guys. I'll be honest. I love these streams. I won't give these streams up. No matter how heavily I get into Baldur's Gate, I will always still come back to these streams. But this has done wonders for me today, especially. I just want you to all know that I appreciate you. I appreciate this community. I appreciate you all sticking with me with all the changes as they happen. I really couldn't ask for a better group of people. Kind of need to leave the edge.
alone for a minute. I'm doing a little bit more of that scuffed dry brushing because that was fun on these plates. So I'm taking Eshin Grey over Abaddon Black Primer. I'm kind of dry brushing in like circular motions. Because of the texture of the 3D print as well, it's quite obvious. It kind of comes up very scuffed looking. It's quite nice. Like anywhere it's kind of blobbed a little bit, I'll just blend outwards in circles. And again, I'm trying to get a little bit of contrast between this and the plates. Just so that they stand out a little. And then smaller ones, I'm actually filling in a little bit more, being a little heavier with the dry brush. Dang it. I'll need to fix that at the moment. I didn't realise I was getting a mess on the swords. But I don't know, I'm kind of liking this. It's a very limited colour palette, which is kind of refreshing to work with. Obviously I've got, I'm lucky enough to have a very extensive collection of paints, but it's kind of nice to limit yourself to just a few sometimes. It forces you to get creative, but also forces you to focus on the core aspects of painting, for want of a better word. Okay. There's a little bit of green poking through up here, so bear with me 2 seconds while I deal with that. You have a naked purple gnome in a cutscene? That sounds fantastic. Are you playing with people that I know, Indy? If so,
who is playing the gnome, please. I need to go and just like shake their hand or something. Will and Emperor. Oh. Please tell me Will's playing the gnome. He is. I knew it. I knew it. I need to go give him some, like, some gift subs or something for that. I don't remember the content creator's name, but there is someone who is doing a full nudist run on Baldur's Gate. And I have to know how much of an effect that has on the game. I probably won't stream that one. Just for the sake of not getting banned, I probably won't stream it. But I have to know if it changes anything. I like to think that, you know, at least in Lower City or something like that, you get people running and screaming from you. I won't subject you all to my singing. I promise. Okay. We're coming closer to the end already. I honestly expected this to take a lot more time than it did, but it's kind of nice. I think because it's such a simplified colour scheme, and because obviously comic book style, it's very saturated blocks of colour rather than lots of little highlights and things like that. And I'm also not using shades or contrast paints because of texture on the plastic. It's actually, you know, streamlined the process hugely. It's a big difference to what's coming next. Because the demon that I've got planned, this guy is going to have all the works. He's going to have resin, he's going to have inks, he's going to have technical paints. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm doing a very effects heavy style. Gonna be very gruesome, hopefully. I'm going for kind of like a, you know, a gross factor, honestly. But it's gonna be a very different experience to the nice, simple, let's just really saturate the colours in experience that we've had here. Every time we look over, it's like, hey, gnome nips. I really want to... I don't know why, but my brain just went, hey, call him knickknacks. I don't know why. Please tell me you have knickknacks in Australia. They're a very British snack, but I don't know if you guys have them elsewhere. I'm just going to send you a link to the Wikipedia page For some reason, that popped into my head. From what you were saying. Don't ask me why.
Maybe it's just the alliteration. Oh, it sounds like you're having a lot of fun though, Indy. That's great. I thoroughly approve of no nips. Okay. So at this stage, I'm basically tidying things up. Kind of trying to get everything looking nice and even. Tidying up sort of the edge of the bust. I've got a lot more tidying up to do on the back here. But I'm kind of waiting for stuff to settle a little bit before I attack that side. But I'm mainly just making sure that everything is neat. And yeah. I've only got off the Nautiloid? Jeez. That sounds like a chaotic run. Is anyone playing the Dark Edge? Or are you all regular backgrounds? No Dark Edges. That's probably for the best. I feel like Dark Edge in multiplayer might cause complications. Especially if your run is already somewhat chaotic. This is purely a self-indulgent little Easter egg. I don't know if I can pull it off there because paint is very wet and I'm not sure I've got the right colours that I need. Change your tactic. Me scope in hand. Honestly, I'm gonna start doing some co-op runs on stream in the future. I don't know who with, but I will stream co-op as well. It would have to be someone who can actually make my time zones though, which kind of limits who I can play with. But your name up for it? I'd be up for that, Indy. Those damn hobbies. Getting into my brain. Just a little Easter egg for the X-Force fans. Buy iced coffee so you can be awake for it. Oh, Indy, I wouldn't ask you to do that. This is a way off in the future kind of thing. Like, for the next few years, I'm going to be playing nothing but Baldur's Gate. There's going to be plenty of opportunities for me to do, time zone friendly sessions. I'm going to do a solo run of, obviously, going to finish my Gloomstalker run solo. I'm also going to do a solo Dark Urge run. And then, once I've done that, on stream, we'll see where we're at. Getting back to it. Be back soon? No worries, Cindy. Have fun. Take your time. Enjoy. Okay. Yeah, a little less X-Force Easter egg on his katanas there. Because I felt like it. Okay, how are we looking on here? I think I'm gonna do some more on these reds because they're looking a little patchy to my eyes. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this up pretty soon, actually. Partly to save my voice, because I'm struggling. I've definitely got some kind of voice lurgy on the way. And also partly because I'm nearly done with this model. I didn't have as much left as I thought. But yeah, in terms of the short term, next week, I'm going to be streaming probably Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. Sunday will be a new painting project. So next Sunday. Tuesday and Friday, Baldur's Gate. Oh no, sorry. Tuesday is Baldur's Gate. Actually, I might do another session. Tuesday and Friday, Baldur's Gate. And then probably Thursday, I'll do another session of The Expanse. That will be the last Expanse session. Just to finish it off. So it'll probably be very similar to this week's schedule. And then I'm just, rather than doing specific days or anything, I'm just going to upload VODs 24 hours after onto YouTube. So this one will be up on Monday, Tuesdays will be up on Wednesday, that kind of a thing. It makes it easier for me to keep track of when stuff's releasing. And it's easier for you lot so that you know when to go looking for VODs that you might have missed. So, yay for an easier life. And yeah, after next week, like I said, it's going to be Baldur's Gate all the way, which is going to be so exciting. I can't wait. Like I said, the one exception to that, I'll do one-off streams of like demos, games, that I think are cool, that kind of thing, on charity runs. So when we're doing live fundraising for WWF, I'll be doing some other stuff. Nat 20 to open a door. Nice, Cindy. Is that the first Nat 20? The other thing is I'm gonna start getting some more thematic emotes done. Again, that's a finances and artist availability dependent thing. Because my wonderful artist and friend is very, very busy, and I don't want to add unnecessarily any stress. But I want to get some D20 emotes done. I want to get some thematic emotes done. I'm not going to elaborate on that yet. I'm quite happy that most of what I rebranded to earlier this year is actually still going to carry over. Because I really do love this stuff. Like potion bottles and things like that, they're not going away. But I'm going to kind of lean a bit more into the D&D vibes. Oops. Just a couple more details on the front here, and I think I might be almost done. Oh no. I did not just get a bunch of grey on his chin. That's not what I wanted to do. Did I actually managed to wipe all that off. That's pretty cool. Good to know. Okay. You know what? I don't think I can think of anything that I want to add or change here. I'll probably see it as soon as I finish stream, because that's always the way. Whenever you go to take photos and you're like, damn, I wish I'd fixed that earlier. I'm just doing a quick little tidy here. And yeah, we got ourselves Deadpool, folks. I'm squaring the frame. So yeah, one Deadpool bust. Super simple. I decided not to go too elaborate with this. Just kind of wanted to make sure I got some really nice saturated color and some, like, obviously recognizable, reasonably law accurate Deadpool love in there, because who doesn't love Deadpool, really? Apart from Spidey. I know. This feels exceedingly relevant. Sorry, I've just spotted something that I do need to fix. It feels exceedingly relevant today, after some things that I've seen online. Because the Merc with the mouth is also pansexual. It is canon. Much love, like my favourite vampire spawn. Deadpool is a pansexual icon. I'm also pansexual, for those who weren't aware. I'm non-binary pansexual. That's problematic. This is not the community for you. We love and accept everyone here. Except those who hold bigoted views. But chose to headbutt Astarion. So Sata's romancing Astarion, right? Seriously, I genuinely think that if you headbutt Astarion when you first meet him, it improves your chances of romancing him earlier on. Right, that's just a theory, but I'm pretty sure Astarion approves. Thank you so much for the hydrate, Super. And welcome in. Unfortunately, I am just about to finish. I am so sorry. But thank you so much for the hydrate. I hope you've got something tasty to drink. I appreciate you coming in, but I've literally just finished my my model. You've been lurking? Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the lurk. I really, really appreciate that. Lurkers are the lifeblood of Twitch. I'm a serial lurker myself, so thank you for the hydrate. I appreciate it very much. And thank you for lurking. And thank you both for derailing my potentially terrible rant there. But yeah, as I said, I'm going to be finishing up now. I need a rest and I need food and all that good stuff, and I need to finish off my weekend. So I'm going to go and do that. I'll be back next week with Baldur's Gate, with Expanse, with a new painting project. Probably new rambles too. So I hope you can all join me for that.
because yeah, I'm super excited, super happy to be doing this, and it feels good. But yeah, I'll be back next week. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday will probably be the days. The VOD for this will be up on YouTube in 24 hours time ish. So if you missed anything and want to catch up, you can find it there. But in the meantime, thank you all so very much for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and I will see you all very soon. Bye for now, folks.